Jean-Michel Basquiat is a celebrated American artist who exploded onto the downtown art scene back in the 1980s. He wound up becoming one of the most famous artists of his time. His family just released hundreds of pieces of his artwork. It's a new exhibit. And of course, Crystal was the first one to go see it.
Yes, it is so good. Actually, it is better than good. It is phenomenal, capital P. So here's the deal. If you're a Basquiat fan, then you will love, love, love it. But if you're not a fan, you'll become a fan. Take a look.
He was always shy as a child, even as a grown-up, but at the same time, he also had a presence as well.
Creative, bright, and quiet by nature, Jean-Michel Basquiat lived only 27 years but left an indelible mark on the art world.
He drew, he created things, he loved movies, he loved music. Everything he did was done with a flair of, creativity.
Basquiat was a high school dropout who never went to art school, yet he's one of the most celebrated painters of the Neo-Expressionism movement. Now his work is on display in the new exhibit, Jean-Michel Basquiat, King Pleasure. His sisters, Lisanne and Janine, are executors of his estate. They've released 200 never-before-seen sketches, paintings, and artifacts, which provide a deeply personal portrait of Jean-Michel that can only be told by his family.
Jean-Michel was one who was very determined to become an artist. And so he made sure, kind of like Malcolm X, by any means necessary. He made sure that he presented himself in front of those that could, lead that way for him.
He had a good balance between business acumen at a really young age and creativity. And so I think that the combination of those two things really helped him.
There's lots of layers to this exhibition. It may take you a while to get through it. In some rooms, there's large-scale pieces of artwork that wind up being directly across from some of his early sketches, all of it giving us a glimpse inside his life.
Walking through the exhibition, you feel like you're really getting to know him. There's an area with homemade movies of Basquiat as a baby, as a precocious toddler, and then as a doting big brother.
Grand Army Plaza was literally our playground. So we went to the Botanical Gardens, we went to Prospect Park. And so these are all kind of moments that made Jean-Michel, and us as well, kind of the people that we are.
There are recreations of Basquiat's childhood home in Brooklyn and the two areas that were the epicenter, the kitchen and the living room. Contemporaries with artists like Keith Haring and Andy Warhol, the exhibition includes a few Warhol pieces like this one and photos of Jean-Michel from his disco days at the Palladium. Basquiat's work referenced the distinction between wealth and poverty and reflected his unique position as a working-class person of color in the celebrity art world. King Pleasure also incorporates many of Basquiat's unfinished works from his Great Jones art studio. Tubes of paint, colorful canvases, paintbrushes, even an old pair of shoes. This part of the exhibit feels immersive. And because he was heavily influenced by music, jazz, soul, disco, there are QR codes you can scan to access the Listen Like Basquiat Spotify playlist. Jean-Michel Basquiat, King Pleasure, is an intimate glimpse inside the extraordinary life of an artist gone too soon. So how would his sisters like for him to be remembered?
As a role model for what you can accomplish when you respond to what you know you're really good at.
I would love for people to get an understanding of who Jean-Michel was as a human being that was flawed, but incredibly talented and gifted and was a genius at what he did.
Jean-Michel always dreamed of being world famous, of taking his place amongst the greats. Now, 34 years after his sudden death, experts in the art world say, mission accomplished.
Beautiful exhibit.
It's so gorgeous. And so how does it kind of end there?
So it's interesting. You walk through like a labyrinth of rooms. There's paintings in each room. Some of them are really large scale. But the very end of it is a giant room with high ceilings where you can sit and have a drink. And it's all set up like the back lounge of the Palladium. So it references everything that he loved. I would recommend that you go to the exhibit and then maybe have dinner at Hudson Yards or walk along the High Line, since it's so far west, the exhibit in Chelsea, but it's really, really good.
I like that you gave us like the whole, like how we should do
I got your weekend
this.
plan. Exactly. You got it.
All right, we're there. Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome,
Appreciate it.